Going from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. For those of you joining us as you take your morning meditation and your morning breakfast, and even those tuning in on the radio, thank you so much for choosing Tobago Updates to start your morning on the right note. I am Luke James Strim, and I'm also joined by
Biana Brebner.
So Biana, how are you feeling this morning? It's Friday.
I'm very happy knowing fully well that it's the eve of the weekend, so I can get some rest, go to the beach, and rejuvenate myself again.
That sounds like a plan.
Yes.
We always look forward to Fridays.
Yes.
We just can't wait for the Friday. I think this week I'm gonna try to get some rest. I may or may not be returning to school. We don't know yet, but I love a good Friday. So you have any plans this afternoon, or you're going to be celebrating Sabbath? Which is it?
Well, I'll be celebrating Sabbath, but I'll be also attending the ASI convention. So I probably should invite you along. It starts at 7 p.m.
Oh, that sounds excellent.
Yes.
A very excellent initiative. I have no problem showing my face. Just shoot me a reminder and I'll definitely be there.
No problem.
But Biana, it's always a pleasure to be on set with you. You know, I really appreciate your energy. I appreciate your presence. I know we're going to have a good vibe today. So I'm going to switch the spotlight over into you. So viewers, we're going to head over to news in 90 seconds with Biana Brebner.
Thank you, Luke. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Friday, 26 January 2024. Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development Trevor James revealed the board members of the Studley Park Enterprise Limited along with their salaries during a plenary sitting yesterday. After several months of deferral, Secretary James disclosed the names and numeration. Ashworth Jack was named the chairman of the board. In response to a query about Jack's qualifications, James refrained from commenting, prompting the presiding officer to instruct him to submit a written response to the minority office. Other members of the board are directors Collis Brown, Curtis Douglas, Christian Virgil, Nikisha Otley, and Gerard Lane, with packages of $6,000, while Secretary of the Board Merritt Douglas earns $4,500. Approximately $3.2 million remains outstanding to service providers for various events organized by the Tobago Festivals Commission, according to Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation Tashia Boris. The revelation came in response to a query from Minority Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit during yesterday's plenary session. Secretary Boris clarified that the Accounts Department is prioritizing the settlements of past bills before addressing those from 2023 based on the release of funds to the division. Among the service providers owed are Tobago Heritage 23 performers who continue to voice their dissatisfaction with the delays. And finally, the Police Service Commission is set to address a complaint from 93 police constables regarding Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher handling of the recent promotion exercise. Attorneys from the constable expressed disappointment in the Commission's conduct and Promotion Advisory Board, citing inconsistencies in the 2023 corporal promotion exercise. The attorney said it impacted the officers' morale and urged the PSCU to take action to restore trust and accountability. The constables, having lost confidence in the process, are seeking the PSC's intervention for a fair and transparent resolution to the ongoing fiasco. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you very much, Biana, for that news in 90 seconds. And, viewers, we are going to switch over to the birthdays just now very soon. So, Biana, you have anybody celebrating birthdays this month?
No one for me this month.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, so viewers, we're going to head over to our birthdays. So first on our list, we are sending out a happy birthday to Miss Trisha Sobers. A happy birthday to you, and I hope you enjoy your day today. So viewers, that's it for the birthday. So I have to give you the rundown. So this morning we're gonna be informative as per usual. We'll be starting our interview with Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, the Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. We'll just be chatting a bit about TADCO. Next we'll be bringing on the Miss Tobago 2024 finalists. We'll be speaking a bit about that from their CEO, and then we'll be switching this Friday interview into sports mode. So stay tuned, viewers. Just remember to share the live, and we'll be right back.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Answer McCall Group.
Flo is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets so you could wind down in your bed. Hosting Blue Friday Limes at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets plus Carnival costumes. Flo bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflo.co for more details. Flo, inspired by you.
As you come in. Long time I see you. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes. Total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about that. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next 2 better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show, coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Now, some of you may know her as the secretary that does so much with so little. Her innovative mind and creativity always makes her stand out. So yes, viewers, this morning we will be chatting with Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Pleasant morning to you, Mrs. Pantin. How are you doing?
Good morning, Mr. Trim. Good morning, my constituents of Bagatelle, Bacalet, Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, nice. So we are in an era where a lot of small island states, especially in the Caribbean, we are aiming to strengthen our food security, and it's through bodies such as TADCO we can achieve this. So can we get some insight into the creation of TADCO?
Okay, when you say the creation of TADCO, so we have to be careful, because, you know, a motion was brought up against me, with some frivolous accusations. But the history of TADCO, 3 companies, they were dissolved, and TADCO was formed. And of course, they failed in all their efforts, significant losses, millions of dollars in losses. So TADCO was the result of, they just hired everybody, put everybody under one company all at the same time. So, we had a lot of issues. But TADCO was really designed to drive the agribusiness sector. Yeah, it's supposed to be the marketing arm of the division, because we understand in Tobago we have to hold the hands of our farm entrepreneurs. Correct. And when I got into office, I impressed upon the technical teams that we have to treat the division and its companies as a science and a business. We have to manage in that way. And with that understanding, we then could create something extraordinary. If you go anywhere in the world and you hear about buying something from Tobago, it carries a lot of weight, because people look at Tobago as being clean, green, serene, products coming from Tobago is sort of natural and all of that. And having to sit down and listen to the minority council. Now, just imagine this. You are in North America, you are in the UK, any part of the world, and you hear the minority saying things like, all the chicken that Tobagonians have rotten, and all the fish that they have rotten. What kind of marketing are you doing for your own people in Tobago? When we're actually trying to make an effort to bring the science into what they are doing. And everything that he's saying there, it's frivolous, it's ridiculous. I want the farm entrepreneurs to continue trying. I know that it would take some time to perfect what you are doing, because you have certain standards that you have to meet. Yes. And of course, TADCO, as soon as we launched out, we tried to all the demonstration units, all the training that TADCO would have started and engaged all the stakeholders that were interested. That is why we train them. That's why we train people in specialty cuts in the meat and all these things. It is to bring them up to standard, yeah? And I wish that the Minority Council would stop politicizing food, because Tobagonians, when they put all the effort into their craft, it is sad to know that a few persons, just for political reasons, want to stop their production. Yeah,
Secretary, interesting. That was a very informative response. And from your response, I can gather that when you have to promote Tobago and on a regional and international level, we can only imagine the machinery behind that. So can you give our viewers and listeners some insight into the staffing at TADCO? The
staffing at TADCO. Now, currently, there are about 42 on the compound, and 8 on board the Capital of Paradise. Yeah. So the assertion on the motion that there are just a few security officers and cleaners, and that is ridiculous as well. You cannot run an enterprise as massive as TADCO without having staff. And staff must be trained. There are particular jobs that you must have qualifications for. But I will tell you something. When you don't have all the information and you see the creativity coming out from some staff members, you tend to want more for them. You want to push them, of course. Any person with a heart would want to support that person. But if you don't have the relevant qualifications, especially given the current political climate, it is difficult to make an argument for your case. It is difficult for you to hold a position, for example, being an accountant, without having the prerequisite, qualifications for that particular job.
So you cannot take someone who don't have something that, a specific job would require, that type of qualification. And, say, okay, a pilot don't need to have, or let's try her. She's good at helping people, deliver babies, but she has no credit. I mean, there are some things that you definitely need the qualifications for. But I'll tell you something. There are positions that people who do not possess qualifications, but you have experience that you can get. So we can do things the right way. Nothing is wrong with that, right? So I don't want people to look at the restructuring as a way of punishing anyone, because there will be opportunities that you do not have to commit fraud or anything to compromise not only yourself, but people that have the responsibility over you. Yeah? And, we could do things the right way. And I'll tell you something, when we assume office, of course, people say we're green, we don't have no experience and all of that. Okay, so you know that. So it would take some time to understand everything. You have a lot of laws, policies, and in some cases, policies don't exist. So you have to put policies in place. So as you go along, you depend on the advice of people. Some people, they come with advice, and then later on you find out the advice wasn't credible. So you have to go back again and go back to the drawing board. And we understand that. I understand that the last administration would have had those challenges as well. But don't be deceptive just to satisfy your political interests. We are talking about the livelihoods of people. We are talking about people's families and all of that. And we don't want to put people in a position where they end up, in a ticklish situation that they can't defend themselves. Yeah? And of course, we have to protect ourselves, given the current political climate.
Right, Secretary. And it's a really sad thing, especially in the Caribbean region, when we look at when politicians, sometimes the information they put out into the public, it's very inaccurate. And it has a damaging effect on the economy, on the image of the island. So it's really important for us as Tobagonians to have that information. And I want to thank you for the clarity that we are getting this morning. Now, from the motion, there was something in the air about some missing documents. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Okay. So to allow for continuity of some projects, a report came to me that a lot of the contracts for consultants and contractors, that they didn't find them anywhere on the compound. And that, you can't really follow up, right? In the case where you had buildings and the scope was one way, and then when you visited the site, you didn't see what the scope had. And then, people demanding millions of dollars, $6.7 million. And then a next shell without a ceiling and roof and just some pillars, and they wanting almost $1 million. I mean, when you have these requests, then you have to treat it, in a systematic way. Because you still have to pay people for whatever they tried, because they try something, right? But at the same time, you want to be able to account for how you're spending the money, yeah? And there's nothing to start with. And that was the difficulty. Even in the case where they claim that, they have equipment to make flour and what's happening, you don't have all the parts. And then when you ask the consultants and the contractors, you're supposed to have a copy. Well, bring it in. They're not bringing it. So where are these documents? Are we supposed to just start from what? Thin air? And it's unfair. It's really unfair. But the board, they have a lot of work to do. They have to come up with solutions to a lot of the issues. But I don't want Tobagonians to be afraid of trying. And even though I pointed out that the 3 companies failed, I understand that when you start a company, you would have the challenges of understanding how to form a business. As a matter of fact, forming a business and operating like a business, it is not something that a lot of young people, they understand the process. And you have to sort of guide them, put systems in place to guide them. I'll make real life mention of a scenario that I know of, even when I supported the other side. And yes, I need to say that. I remember after winning, when I assumed the office, someone asked me why I crossed the floor. I never crossed the floor. That term is for when people actually become elected and then they decide to this. I never crossed the floor, but I would have supported. And I have intimate knowledge of this case where back in the then administration, someone got over $1 million to operate a pig farm.
Yes.
And they asked me to visit because the pig production, that whole enterprise failed. And I said to them, I need you to be open and honest with me, right? I am not on a witch hunt or anything. I actually want to assist, yeah? So I need to understand the reasons for failure. And they said to me, lack of technical support. So they didn't get the science down. And anybody into pig production, I mean, from young, my family brought me into raising animals, so I could tell you. And I got married into a family that raise animals currently. So I can tell you, when you're raising pigs, the ratio is important, yeah? And if you don't have the ratios down, right, you end up spending too much money and the enterprise will fail. So that is why I'm stressing that you must have the science down. And when they mention lack of technical support, right, that is why I have been pushing so that we could continue developing the demonstration centers, that we have stations all across Tobago, because these are the stations that would provide the science, so that we could provide the technical support, so that these enterprises, these private these farm entrepreneurs, that they would not fail.
Okay, so
and if we have failing companies under the Tobago House of Assembly, how can we now assist people who are failing as well? So we have to try. And that is why I'm boasting about the efforts of the Capital of Paradise and all the other projects that we're doing. Because if we could get the science right and the business right, then we could provide the technical support for the stakeholders.
Yes, Secretary. And when you look at food, especially food and agriculture, it's an area where you have to be very technical. You have to get the science on, because at the end of the day, these are products that people are going to consume. So it will include trial and error. It will include failure at some point. It would include going back to the drawing board. But some people from the outside, when they look at it, they would just assume, okay, that's probably a 1, 2, 3 ABC fixed problem, when it's not. It takes a lot of technical thinking, a lot of work. But I heard you keep making mention to the Capital of Paradise. It's a really vibrant name. It's very interesting. So can we hear a bit more about what the Capital of Paradise is all about and what it has been doing?
Well, I'm happy that you have asked that. So the time accounted for the Capital of Paradise, there was a time that nobody knew anything about it. And it is only now that you can hear about who the captain, who is the current captain. You see all the vessel crew members online. You're getting a readout of how much fish they catch and how much revenue and how much they make. And very often people will quarrel and say, oh, they're not catering for all the fuel and the this and the that. So that is why I quoted revenue after all the expenses, to show Tobagonians that you have the capability. Do not let people make you think that everything that Tobagonians can do, it will fail. This was a pilot project, to see if the Capital of Paradise could become a lucrative, something lucrative. And you should be boasting as Tobagonians that you have a totally Tobagonian crew, led by a Tobagonian captain, that could actually bring this you know, this sort of success for Tobago. This is not me boasting here, you know. Yeah, right? I mean, sometimes I go out on the vessel, just a short ride, and I want to throw. So this is not me boasting. I am boasting about the skills of Tobagonians and your sons on board the Capital of Paradise, right? But we didn't know where it was all this time. Nobody knew. And even in, you know, providing some corporate social responsibility. When you go to the temporary facility at Scarborough, sometimes it would dock and provide hot meals, fresh fish, yeah, to the Tobagonian public.
That's
yeah, and visitors, because we got some visitors, I think from Germany the last time. They came and sat down with me and ate broth. And that is that is the kind of thing we want to start. We provide fish to the school feeding program, to the fish processors, right? Random people can come and purchase fish. So we have to start encouraging each other, right? And as I'm trying to say, I don't want people to be afraid of failure, right? But failure for 10 and 15 and 20 years, we cannot continue along the same road, right? So we are looking at different initiatives and trying to see how lucrative it can become. And if something isn't lucrative, then we note why, and then we try to do better. So this is not Mrs. Pantin sitting here and say she's a perfect woman and she understands everything. That is ridiculous. I get advice. I depend on my technical officers in situations where I do not know something, right? I co-opt it, right? And that is what I am happy for, that we're able to work as a team. And if we can work as a team in everything, right? Sometimes I'm misguided, and I wonder why would somebody give me that type of advice when I get something. I mean, because everybody had their own agenda. Yes. And when I don't adhere to somebody begging me for something because they're just satisfying their interests, then all of a sudden the chicken rotten, and they're going in the public and talk and say the chicken, just to affect everybody, the 60 farm entrepreneurs, because I didn't give you something. That is wickedness.
Secretary, and I love how you made mention about us as Tobagonians having pride in the Capital of Paradise.
Yes.
Because we are in this era, even in 2024, people are still of the belief that Tobagonians are so dependent on Trinidad and we can't do anything without the support from Trinidad. So it's amazing to hear that we have a Tobago base and Tobago owned project that is thriving.
But it's deliberate. Sorry to cut you across. It is deliberate. I know I said hush your mouth yesterday, but I'm calming down a little now. That is deliberate, because if they can keep us in perpetual dependency, right? Then the 4 million that I have to manage after I pay wages and everything else, that is all I would get. And I will get less, because they will say, look, there is no reason to increase the allocation for food security in Tobago, because everything Tobago own and they're running currently will fail. So that is why 500 million could be spent on agriculture and all the initiatives in Trinidad. And by the way, Trinidadians, I love you all, because I have family in Trinidad as well. So nothing is wrong with that size of investment. But $4 million for food security in Tobago is ridiculous. And when they speak about moving around monies, why the Chief Secretary don't move around money? Move it around from where? We already have shortfalls in all the different divisions, and everybody consider their portfolio to be significant and important. When somebody drop down in a patrol, blaming Mr. James, so what? Move it from the division that works and send it to food security?
Wow, Secretary. And I think it is for these reasons we start to understand why in the autonomy bill we are demanding a minimum of 6.8%.
Definitely send the money to Tobago so that we can feed ourselves.
Okay, Secretary, I really understand. But allow me to switch the direction of this interview a bit. You made mention to Trinidad, and sometimes when I'm walking through UB campus, I will see these students in a circle playing all fours. Sometimes I will try to get in, sometimes I will watch, because it is a stress reliever. It's something that everybody wants to take a part of. And I understand that you have also been initiating an all fours competition.
Yes.
So tell us a bit more about that.
Okay, so I'm not a good fisher. I don't want to say fisher woman. I'm not part of the fisher folk community. But one thing I know how to do is play all fours. And my father, I mean, in those days, you know, my father used to teach at the trade school, and I believe he was a mason at, you know, under the division of education at one time. And sometimes the money just wasn't enough. And in his social, socializing with the community, he became part of an All Fours club. And often when when you know, he returned, he would always call, you know, the kids together and you know, teach us all fours, you know. And I love the energy, because, you know, it's like daddy to daughter sort of, you know, transfer of knowledge. And that is why I can say that All Fours always pays for itself. So Tadco had no need to pay for the All Fours event. As a matter of fact, the reason why the food hub was converted into a space so that you can accommodate all types of activities, including agriculture, because as you see, for World Food Day, you had several different types of activities. You had a flower, people could come and buy flowers during the horticulture show. We had the World Food Day there because of the problems with the giant African snail. So it is a multi-use facility. And all types of vendors can be accommodated at that site. Yeah? So instead of focusing on one stakeholder, we have several people in this space with skills, right? That they don't want to always depend on the government for something. And they want to establish themselves. So we host a lot of events at the food hub. And Tadco made a lot of money from that All Fours tournament. So Tadco was paid to host that day.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really
And
amazing.
talking about a division with no money, you have to come up with ways to make money. So we have to transform all these assets that we have into money-making spaces. And that was the reason why when we hosted the Scarborough Botanic Christmas Glitz, that $10 and $15 at the door and $20, that is no money at all. Compared to what the vendors made that night.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And, you know, when I started the interview, I would have made mention about your innovation and your creativity, because to make something out of when you don't have nothing, some people will compare your job to trying to make an ice block from water that's spilled on the floor, and you do it so well. And you do it so well. And sticking on your innovative tendencies, I'm of the understanding that there are new companies and new committees that we can expect to be uprising soon. So tell us, give us the insights, because I know a lot of people are excited to hear what next this innovative secretary has in store for us.
Well, I'll tell you something. I mentioned earlier that we have a lot of assets, and to the point where sometimes I walk into a room, for example, and I'm just afraid I have to run back because of the amount of wood ants and vermin. So now you're going to see us doing a cleanup campaign, because these stations, some of them, you know, they really need, you know, that the Bible says cleanliness is next to godliness, close to godliness. Yeah. So that is why you're going to see we're ramping up that sort of activity. But some of the things, you know, you need to accomplish, you need to draw talents from different places, including within the division. So you have a lot of persons that are willing to build this island into the greatest little island on the planet. And no matter where you come from, right, you have a chance to serve. And I'm going to continue doing that, eh? Yeah. So you're going to hear about a lot of these committees, and I'm gonna get bashed for it, but that's fine, because the outcome is something extraordinary. right? Look at what people experience at the Botanical Garden.
Yes, Secretary. And I'm getting to that because, well, to wrap up, because, you know, we're
Yes,
almost out of
yes,
time.
sorry.
Sticking on your innovative,
Yes.
especially when it comes to the Botanic Gardens, we would have seen the movie night and
Yes.
the Christmas glitz. And somebody told me, a little birdie told me that we can expect something for Valentine's Day.
Yes, actually, we have the team planning. And when I say a team, we're going to draw people from under tourism, of course, led by our Tobago Reforestation Program, that, you know, they are now stationed at the Botanical Gardens. They came up with this theme. It's a love thing. So within the month of February, I know after people don't wind down low, it's followed by love, yeah?
Yes.
That's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So I don't want to tell you too much,
Oh, yes, I understand.
but dining in the gardens would be one aspect. So if you want to come out with your significant other, you would be able to dine in the gardens for Valentine's.
That's really
Yeah?
nice.
But it's going to have a twist.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you that twist. Yeah?
But we look forward to
Yes.
that twist, and hopefully you will announce the twist right here on Tobago Update. So we look forward to that. So, Secretary, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. It was a very innovative, as usual, informative interview. I wish you the best in all your endeavors. So, viewers, that was Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, also known as the creative and innovative secretary that does so much with so little. So, viewers, we still have a bit more interviews packed for you, so stay tuned. Just remember to share the live, share the live, share the live, and we'll be right back.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
And here are your Miss Tobago 2024 Beauty Pageant finalists. Miss Monique Joseph, Miss Speyside. Miss Jelani Lovelace, Miss Newgrange. Miss Jada Miller, Miss Mongrace. Miss Jada Vincent and Miss Patience Hill. Miss Michaela Mackenzie, Miss Bonaccord. Miss Ranessa Ortiz, Miss Golden Lane. Miss Anaya Beard, Miss Plymouth. And Miss Lily Mackenzie, Miss Charlottesville.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates television morning show. I am your host for this segment, Lavia and Ashby, and we are here at the luxurious Comfort Inn and Suites in the beautiful and scenic Scarborough, Tobago. But this morning we are talking beauty, style, fashion. I mean, I myself am feeling as though I'm walking on a catwalk, so I'll give you a little twirl. Yeah, so we are here this morning with the 9 finalists of the Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant, and I am seated here with the director of Coco Velvet and also the coordinator of this pageant, Mr. Christopher Nathan. Christopher, good morning.
Good morning to you.
And how are you?
Exhausted.
I could imagine. So for the persons that don't know, last Sunday we were here at the Comfort Inn and Suites and we had the Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant along with the Tobago Top Model competition. Yes? Alright, so those two very important competitions, let's dive right into it. Let's talk about corporate sponsorship and what corporate can do to help this pageant and to help the young ladies to move forward in this competition.
Indeed. I think that corporate Trinidad and Tobago needs to lend more support to projects like this in Tobago, because Cocoa Velvet has been around since 1997, and every year that we've had the CVI Fashion Workshop, that's the Cocoa Velvet International Fashion Workshop, we've gotten a lot of support from corporate Trinidad and Tobago, the banks, the energy companies, etc. This year when I decided to do the project here in Tobago, I sent out letters to over 50 corporations, including all the banks, all the energy companies, etc. And not one of them came forward to support the event. So I'm very thankful to the Office of the Prime Minister's Sport and Culture Fund for funding the workshop, as well as the Tobago House of Assembly, Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport, who also funded the workshop expenses. Now we are into the graduation presentation show, which we call the Making Style, which includes top model Trinidad and Tobago finals, as well as the finals of Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant. And we're hoping that sponsors will now come on board to fund the expenses for the event.
All right, great. So corporate Trinidad and Tobago, if you are listening, we need your support here. All right, so we know we had the two competitions. There were two separate ones, Miss Tobago and the Tobago Top Model, and 8 persons were selected for the Tobago Top Model. But we also had a winner, didn't we?
We sure did, and those 8 people don't know who they are. So this is an exclusive reveal for Tobago Updates Television.
And Tobago Updates Television is always bringing you all things important and necessary here. All right, so do you have that information for me?
I do. So the exclusive. Let's first reveal who the top 8 are, who will be going on to compete for an international management contract with ELSA Exclusive Look and Scouting Alliance, which is our international scouting director. Mr. John Bilbao is responsible for signing our top models from the contest in the past, including Naomi Chinwing, who went to IMG Model Management, Crystal Noriega, who went to Elite Model Management, Sarah Jane Jones, who's our latest winner, and she's been signed to agencies in Paris, Milan, New York, and Spain. So this is a very important man who's coming to Tobago to issue one contract to one of the lucky finalists. So at Tobago Top Model 2024 finals, we had 13 vying for one contract, and we have a winner. Our winner is also a finalist for Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant, so she has it all. Anaya Beard.
Oh, very nice. And the lovely Anaya Beard. Tobago, please stand up and be proud. This is a product of ours. Very nice. And so you have the rest of the information for it.
Yeah, so Anaya is 17 years old and she stands 5 feet 11, which is the sweet spot for international modeling. So she's our first winner. And apart from her, we decided to send forward 7 more contestants from Tobago to compete for the international modeling contract. So Naya being number 1, Lily Mackenzie, finalist number 2, Soraya Beard, our youngest finalist, she's only 12 years old, she got through to the finals. Cariel Ramsden, finalist number 5, Shanik Marcelin, finalist number 6, Anya Duke, finalist number 7, Dion Mackenzie, and our 8th finalist for Top Model Trinidad and Tobago, representing Tobago, Javonis Antoine.
All right, yes indeed. So viewers, a Tobago Updates Television exclusive. Congratulations to those lovely young ladies. And thank you so much, Mr. Nathan, for all that you are doing. And so we are moving on to the semis. So the semis was on Sunday. We saw those, yeah, but we're going to do a recap of the semis. Yes. All right, so the semis was on last Sunday. So tell me, how are you feeling about the execution of that?
Oh, I am very, very pleased. I'm hard to please, huh? So imagine if I'm so excited, I am 100% satisfied with the delegates, with the top model finalists, as well as with the production crew, because this was a youth initiative, and all the management of the event on Sunday was handled by children. They were 12, 13, 14, 15 years managing the backstage, and anybody looking on in the audience would not believe that these young people were managing our backstage. And they came from the Tobago Youth Creative Arts Workshop. I purposely did that because we are moving into Cocoa Velvet's main productions coming up in 2025 and 2026. I don't want to have to bring a production crew from Trinidad. So the idea was for us to recruit these young people from secondary schools and teach them project and event management, which they did. So the students who participated in the section for project and event management had the opportunity to work backstage on Sunday, and they did a marvelous job.
All right, great. So I know that initially we had 12 lovely contestants and we're now down to 9. Making style. So tell me more about this. What can we look forward to?
Right, so first of all, on Sunday I have to give credit to our swimsuit designer, a young lady called Mia Solomon, who's designed the entire collection for the semi-finals of Miss Tobago 2024 beauty pageant. I also want to credit the jewelry designer, Donna LaRoche of LaRoche Designs, an outfit out of Charlottesville. She's been hidden in Charlottesville and she has international appeal. So once I saw her work, I asked her to provide jewelry for Miss Tobago 2024 semi-finals. So all the jewelry that the audience saw at the pageant were done by Donna LaRoche. I also want to credit our makeup sponsor, Let's Shine Limited, who was responsible for the beautiful faces at the event. Now we're talking about Making Style. Making Style, I have an announcement to make. Making Style 2024 is now March the 3rd. Sunday, March the 3rd. Initially it was the 4th of February, but we discovered that on that day is Panorama Finals. We can't compete with Panorama Finals. And we decided that it's best that we move the date to another date that's free. And that date is the Sunday, 3rd of March. So those persons who have tickets for the 4th of February, they will be honored. And they can use the same tickets to come in on the 3rd of March. The tickets, once again, are $30 general admission, $100 for the VIP section, and $300 for the all-inclusive, which is the platinum tickets. That platinum ticket allows the holder to attend the coronation ball, which is our after party, right here at the Comfort Inn and Suite, our venue sponsor.
All right, nice. And we still have tickets available for sale, right?
A few. And where can patrons purchase these tickets? I'm saying that because we're trying to be go late, yeah? And we like to leave buying tickets last minute. So if you want to get the $30 early bird ticket, please be an early bird and buy your tickets early. Otherwise, you'll have to pay $100 for the VIP tickets. The tickets are available at the front desk right here at Comfort Inn and Suite, as well as the box office at Shaw Park Complex, the venue, as well as Ted Arthur Leather Collection at James Park in Scarborough.
All right, and is there anything, Mr. Nathan, that you would like to leave with our viewers this morning and leave with corporate Trinidad as well?
Well, I want to look forward to next year because we are talking to the Division of Community Development, Youth Development and Sport to introduce this workshop again next year. I'm retired and I planned this was going to be my last event, but it was such a success and there's so many youngsters who are interested. We initially started off with 3,000 recruits. We went down to 350, so there are 350 youths here in Tobago who are desirous of pursuing careers in the creative industries. So next year we're going to do my final workshop, and in that workshop we want to introduce carnival costume design for young people who want to learn how to make carnival costumes. So look out for that workshop, which will be held during the summer this time, July and August, as to not conflict with school, attending school. That's my last word.
All right, thank you so much. So viewers, we were chatting here this morning with Mr. Christopher Nathan, and we are talking about Making Style 2024, which will be the finals for the young ladies that are participating in the Tobago Beauty Pageant 2024, and they will move on. The winner will move on to Miss World TT later on this year. So remember to support, all right? Come out, buy your tickets and support our lovely young ladies. All right, and right now we take a break, and remember to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storebay Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Of course, welcome back to Tobago Updates Television. Of course, we are into the sporting segment, and of course, this beautiful day, Friday. I want to thank you guys so much for staying with us. I know you guys always look forward to seeing what we have in store for you in terms of sports locally. And this morning we have none other than former national or former heavyweight boxer, Mr. Kirsten Manswell, on set with us this morning. Good morning, Mr. Manswell.
Good morning.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Of course, Mr. Manswell, I saw recently we in the public domain, we had the National Boxing Championships, of which you took part, not as a boxer, but of course as a coach, and you aired certain things in terms of there's a discrepancy with the results and things. But before we really get into that aspect of it, I mean, what have you been up to, Mr. Manswell?
Well,
other than coaching?
No. Well, basically, I'm a minister. I'm in the church.
Right.
I'm right up there at Pump Mill, Mount Bethel Spiritual Baptist Church. I'm up there. I'm one of the leading ministers up there. And I'm home up in Pembroke with my mom,
right.
And I'm working here at the Port Mall with Mr. Thomas as head security. So I'm training the youths, not forgetting anything. With the youths, I have a lot of youths down there in Cove Industrial Estate by Rojas. We down there from 8:30 in the night, and from every Tuesday and every week I go up there in Speyside at the high school.
Right.
You understand, where I have over 75 plus kids.
Right.
You understand, who are very much interested in boxing, but there's so much that I can do. You understand, as in terms to facilitate them out of the school, because what they have now, if they even have registered with the Ministry of Education, they register schoolboys boxing, but it's non-contact.
Oh, so how do you get youngsters to get involved in boxing, or is it that you have there are some deviant boys? Do you have girls as well?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
There are some deviant, let's say, children, if you put it that way. Are those the ones that they normally target to get into boxing, or there are students who will come and say, hey, I want to do boxing?
We love all. We accept all. The deviant ones, the most troublesome ones in school.
To get them to channel their aggression into boxing.
They are some of my best students.
Right.
And even the principals in these schools that I go, even the principals, they are stunned.
Yeah.
As to see the relation that I'm going to have with them and the discipline. You understand, they're going to be there first, because I have one format in the school where I hear you reach on time and you'll not be late for the next class. Right? For the class right after.
Yes.
And everyone is on time and they reach to the next class. They wait for me. So, it's there, the discipline is there, and as I said, I have none that I can say that is.
Yeah.
What is it? Disturbed?
Okay. So, and is Speyside the only school that you are actually going to be doing it, over a period of time, or you're going to plan this project around?
No, at present, I just have the letter here from the Ministry of Education where they reintroduce the sport back into the school, into both not leaving out primary, primary and secondary, because schoolboy boxing is from 11 to 15.
Right.
So we are now looking at the latter end of primary school. Right, and then we have the whole secondary school where they have junior school boys, where they go all over the world. Last year they were in Panama.
Right.
You understand? So they already starting traveling, but Tobago is on the back burner because not most of the heads in Tobago have this information. You understand? But seeing I'm there with the IBA officials in Trinidad, I'm there with the education officials in Trinidad, and Tobago is still kind of hesitant in receiving this information. Boxing is part of the school's curriculum.
Right.
You understand? Right. And I invigilate for CXC with exam, and some of the kids choose boxing.
Because PE is part of the...
of course.
Yeah.
Right, and then we have, as long as you choose physical education as a subject, you must choose a sport.
Yeah.
And we have a couple guys in Tobago that choose boxing.
Right, and you had facilitated. That's fantastic.
And then there's no way in Tobago for them to go and learn other than what I proposed down in Cove.
Okay.
And the children up in Speyside, they'll be at a privilege. I had started at Scarborough, but we haven't started back as yet.
Right.
And we want a home.
You want to expand.
You understand? There's this place up in the stadium. You understand, the Dwight York Stadium, and you know we are working on it at present.
Yeah, and you are providing opportunities for the boxers to get outside of Trinidad and Tobago. There's a career that can be made from boxing.
And not only you look at it as the boxers, right?
Yeah.
We are to what the program that I have to bring forward to Tobago is not only boxers.
Right.
We are talking about coaches, referees, and all the officials in boxing that boxing has. We are having classes, we are certifying all, and we are not just certifying them at a Trinidad and Tobago level. We are certifying them at an Iowa level so that they can go to our Olympics. That they can go. What I'm telling you, it is fantastic. Yeah, it's a great program, but as I said, we don't have the folks over here.
Yeah, and then obviously, just on the clip that we just had right just before there, we saw that was national championship,
Yes,
right?
it
National
is.
boxing
It was,
championships.
yes.
And as I said before, at the start of the program, you know, you had cause to probably be upset a bit. I mean, can you take us through what was going on there?
Well, first to begin with, my guy, the guy here, Isaiah Mirage,
right?
He's a schoolboy.
Right.
That's Scarborough
Secondary, yeah.
Right, and this guy, you know, he's one of those that they would say were problematic.
Right.
And he would have transformed. And he is in boxing, I'm telling you. And this, he never had fight. This, the guy that you see that he's fighting here in the yellow and black hair.
Yeah.
Right?
So this was his first fight?
This is his first fight. And the guy that you see that he's fighting here, this guy, he is traveling already.
Oh.
Right? So then, and you know, we see decision when he was points were supposed to be adjudged to him. It was adjudged to the other guy.
So how do they calculate the points?
No, well, we have 4 judges on either side. And 2 must score the same point simultaneous.
Oh, so there's a click.
That's right.
And this is dependent on blows.
That's right.
Once you register,
it must register this part of the body.
All right.
You understand? Just the frontal part here. It must register. So we see going back. And as I said, 2 must score the same point for it to be adjudged. You understand? And I have judges was asking me what was going on. I had officials, cameramen, media personnel.
Yeah.
Why did they adjudge the point to the other side?
Right. Because your guy got in some significant blows.
And I went and I asked the head referee. He said that we're here. What the decision is final, but you know, so it doesn't even make no sense protest. But here, what we came out feeling good because the team to be there was the Tobago team, and all of the guys that have took down to Trinidad never fought. Some never even went.
So this was your first official meet. First time participating in the national championship as a coach with all these youngsters out of Tobago.
Yes,
fantastic.
Yes.
So what were some of the results in terms of the guys?
No, what all of my guys, you know, going into the tournament and they were strong and well prepared.
Yeah.
So we fought semi-finals and finals.
Right.
So then, if we have to adjudge medal, then we will have 1 silver. I just want to check 1 silver and 4 bronze.
And that was something you aimed for before you actually got in, or just to participate?
Oh no, we weren't actually participation is right, but we weren't actually looking at the medals.
Yes,
we were looking at the experience because these guys are young. I'm telling you, 15 and under, so they still have an Olympic in front, and they have their whole future ahead of them. They are young. You understand? And we are really looking, the experience is good. Everyone, you understand, fought how I wanted them to fight. They could have gone a little more. But you know, first time, you know, you give or take first time. But I'm saying it was excellent. And the batch that I carried to Trinidad, I have more than that. They didn't want to go, and who were doing exam. And you know, some parents are very hesitant in sending their children to Trinidad, you know. But I just want to tell the parents that it's safe. You understand me being
I like that.
I'm in Trinidad.
That's an important message you're saying there.
Of course, it is safe. I'm taking them. I doesn't leave them unsupervised at no time. I'm there with them 24 hours. We stay in the same place. We eat. I myself prepare the the meals for them. I travel with them. Make sure they're to and from we train. So I'm saying it's safe. It's very, very, very safe. And you know, persons in Trinidad, whether gangster, however you want to put it, they respect me because I came up in that. I learned boxing between Prince and Nelson on Duncan Street. You understand? So we're talking about Beatham and Silot, and I'm in the heart of them. Right. You understand? So you know, I'm known by these heads, these head figures. So it's safe. It's totally safe. But I'm saying Tobago has a lot of potential.
A lot of potential.
And I'm saying this to say this. The results we have in boxing. The first world champion of boxing from where?
Tobago.
Claude Noel.
Yeah.
The most renowned amateur boxer, most colorful amateur boxer ever in the history of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
From where?
Yeah. And Europe shoulders are the great Don King.
From Tobago.
Yes, man. So we have.
You understand? So we have the history of boxing, both amateur and professional. And I'm telling you, I see a lot more. We just went and we do a little thing in Charlottesville for one of the fishermen. If you see all those kids come on, never putting on a gloves ever, and they came out and the participation we had, it's amazing. All we are asking for in Tobago, get the stadiums up and running. They were boxing up there at the Sid Gray Stadium.
Yeah.
They told us we couldn't get it because they give the gym, they give it over to health to do something. Okay, I'm not into no politics. I ain't going into that. The Sid Gray Stadium, the Dwight York Stadium, it's taking too long before you can hand it over. You understand? And what I'm saying, boxing is part of the school curriculum. When you do physical education, you must choose a sport. And most of these guys choose boxing.
Yeah. And before we let you go, right? I mean, we can spend entire morning talking to you, and we must get back to talk more. But I want to know what's next for you and your club, your boxing club.
Well, we were invited to a tournament in Trinidad in the ending of March, and also one in April. And because the other gym would have seen how we participated. So, they want to work with us. You understand? And I have contacts out there in Puerto Rico, in Barbados, and in the United States. And as long as we have our thing up and running here in Tobago, you understand? They're not going to come to Trinidad. They're going to come directly to Tobago and be a part of what I'm trying to get in the primary schools, secondary, so not leaving out any. You understand? Even the community at large. You understand? Boxing is alive and well, and Tobago has the raw product. You understand? All we have to do is harness, and we will have a lot of world champions. We'll have more clothes, we'll have more cuts and magic.
And how can persons get in touch with you?
Okay, well, you can get in contact with me. My phone contact is 496-3270. You understand? Or come at the Port Mall. Just come at the Port Mall and ask for Mr. Manswell. And we will take it from there. You understand? We will either, we have to take you at Cove. We are down at Cove 8:30, Monday to Thursday, and Saturday morning we are there at Montgomery Hard Court. And we are training hard. The guys just have 2 weeks off because they're now coming out of the championship. So the first week in February, we'll be back.
Yeah. Of course, thank you so much, Kirsten, for being with us here this morning. So much to talk about. I mean, boxing is some people may see it as not one of the popular sports, but I see it as something that we can, as you mentioned, part of the curriculum in school to help combat, deviant youngsters who may want to channel that aggression into something positive. So definitely we're going to have you back to talk more about the sport of boxing, and not just boxing, the program that is boxing. So once again, thank you so much, and of course, congratulations to your boys, and good luck going forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
So viewers, we've been chatting with our former heavyweight boxer there, and national boxer representing Tobago and the country. Of course, great stuff. So we're going to have some further discussion on sport. But before we get into that, rally around the West Indies. Yes, we got West Indies. And don't forget to share the live. When we come back, more sport talk.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990, and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
To put some wind in the sails of eagles.
Oh, that's a great ball. And it's Makul
for the equalizer, offside.
And it's offside. Oh my goodness, it's offside.
That looks close. That is close.
Well,
that is
we were questioning the one in the first half. Definitely questions are going to be asked of this.
Oh, welcome back. I mean, what you have just seen there, that was a a TFA, Tobago Football Association Ascension League semi-final game between Eagles FC, debutants Eagles FC, up against Kami Mount Pleasant. And I mean, all those who follow football, the verdict is out. We have reviewed.
Yes, reviewed.
And I mean, VAR would have actually, said that it was a goal.
A goal.
It was a goal.
It was a goal.
A legal goal. An onside goal scored by Zion Makul. I mean, Zion Makul was tremendous on that night. And I was there, Porter, and I can tell you that the result, you have to score goals, 2 matches. Mm-hmm. And Kami Mount Pleasant would have scored first. I felt like they dominated the first half. They got more chances in the first half. But as the game progressed, the youngsters came into their own and they created a lot of problems for the Kami Mount Pleasant team. They eventually broke through, and then to see the linesman wave an offside goal, I think that was really, really heartbreaking. And, some people will say that's the nature of the sport. But when you are in a high-stake game as a semi-final, you, the referee, as well have to be on point, not just the players. The referee need to be on point, and not just the referee, but the linesmen. Mm-hmm. They have to be on point. And we have to call a spade a spade. This has happened perennially in Tobago's Football Association leagues. You understand where I'm coming from? And when so much is at stake, because not just community and bragging rights, but finances as well. You put out a lot, and you expect that the referees who are trained and qualified will ensure that the game is officiated in a particular way, that something like that. Because, I mean, Potter, I ain't no trained referee, but I could have called that onside. And, I mean, how do you bounce up from something like that, Potter?
That's hard. I was lost for words. Mm-hmm. Not because I'm for Eagles or Leeds or any other teams, but I was lost for words.
And thankfully, Tobago Sports Live was there to capture it.
Yes, thankful. This have gotten thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Yeah, right? Yeah. I was lost for words.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, you're for Eagles, and it happened to Kami Mount Pleasant last year, and this and that. But I mean,
and I'm happy you mentioned that it happened to Kami Mount Pleasant. I wish you had that clip from Kami Mount Pleasant.
I'm going to look for that clip. I'm going to look for that clip.
Because it did happen to Kami Mount Pleasant.
It did happen.
And it was something similar to that. That is a true ball. So maybe the people who are training the referees, they may need to do more training when it comes to the ball being played over the defense or through the defense in that particular way. That, I mean, everybody who understands offside, the simplest way to put it, you must be on in front of the last stopper before the ball is played. As simple as possible. And when you look at that, 2 persons were actually keeping that striker onside. And he was fast enough, and there was a brilliant ball.
It was a brilliant ball. Yes.
And it was a good finish as well.
I mean, very good, very good finish.
In hindsight, you can't change the result. But I'm saying this should be a learning experience for the officials. Right? I'm not going to call the officials' name because we all live in this space. We all live in this space. The thousands that were at the stadium that have seen the officials, and I'm certain that when he goes to his job or travels to Tobago, persons who are supportive of the football and the Tobago or the Eagles team, they're going to tell him a piece of their mind. But it was a brilliant game, brilliant game. I felt that it was like a final.
I felt it was a final. Exactly. Yeah, I was saying this morning, I was telling one of my friends, that it was like the final. That was like the final.
It was really an attractive game to look at. The first game, I mean, I was expecting more from Leeds and Sidees, given the history of the two teams. Of course, I asked the coach of the Sidees team, I mean, how many titles they won. I mean, we mentioned that. I mean, they won 4 league titles, a couple FA Cups, 1 community league, and he said that they have been bridesmaids many times. So, and then Leeds United, they have a history. And if you look at the players that play with Leeds United, you know, Volton and as always called this one, the sweat boss.
Yes.
The sweat boss. I mean, he expected a more competitive match. For me, it lacked opportunities and quality, but obviously 1 goal was scored by Sidees, and that was the end result there. So we're going to have a finals on the 3rd of February.
On the 3rd, that's Saturday.
Kami Mount Pleasant and Sidees, and I expect that in a first half battle between the two teams is going to be very competitive, because Kami Mount Pleasant, they came out hot. They created opportunities, and they eventually scored, I think, in the 38th minute.
Yes.
Right, Navi Roach, and they held their own. I mean, albeit with some assistance from the referees.
Well, let me just say, Tobago Sports, I would not be streaming the finals live. We want you guys to come out to the stadium. We want the stadium to have lots of people. We will be there. It's going to be a delayed broadcast, but we won't be streaming it live, right? We want people to come out to the stadium.
Yeah.
Let me just touch on the referees.
Yeah.
kudos to the referees. The referees are doing a wonderful job.
No one wants to.
But you see that game, Marcus?
Yeah.
I'm really pretty sure that referee was in the game.
Yeah.
And not watching the game. Yeah.
He was
because
caught up.
that game was so fast. And actually, we timed done already? Come on, Woods. Come on. Anyway, we're going to wrap up just now.
Yeah.
I thought he was in the game and not watching the game.
Yeah.
Because everything was so fast. Right?
But would you pin the referee or more so the person on the line? Because I mean more offside.
Not the offside referee I was talking about, right?
Yeah.
The lines referee.
Yes.
Not my friend. Not my friend. Not the man. Not Tucker. So I actually thought the referee was probably in the game. He was watching. He was not paying attention.
Because
to
the game actually picked up pace, and I felt like
picked up.
It got really physical coming to the end. Because I mean, Eagles, they were desperate for the equalizer, and then to work so hard and to produce such a brilliant ball. Take it down as smoothly as possible and got it beyond the goalkeeper.
Hard luck.
And into the net. It was hard. And I mean for the neutral that were there, they were expecting probably to go to penalties because I like penalties.
I was looking forward to penalties.
Because that goal was scored late into the game, and then to see they worked hard and got into the game. I mean, so Hamlet Gibbs and Mr. Boswin, you can have seen the disappointment. But as I said, that's the nature of the sport, football.
Yes.
Sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong.
Congratulations to Carnby Mount Pleasant. You guys played a really good game, and I'm looking forward to an excellent final come Saturday.
But I'm worried about the date for the finals, though. That's Skinner Park. Good morning. That's that day, and of course there are so many other opportunities and activities happening on that particular day. But
we love our football. We love our football. To be Ghanaians, we love our football. We're gonna be there. Right? You better cancel. You have to be there. We love our football because it's not gonna be streaming. So don't even think about that. So we love our football. We're gonna come out. We're gonna count our numbers, and we're gonna support. Right? Congratulations to the winning teams. See you guys on Saturday. Right?
3rd of February.
The 3rd of February. It's the 3rd, right?
Yes, the 3rd,
Yeah, and all I can say, hard luck, Eagles. Better luck next year.
I think for our debut season,
they did well.
They did well to get into the Big Four against season campaigners. I mean, kudos to the management team led by Coach Boswain and of course Mr. Sir Gibbs. And I can tell you, most of those guys they came to the primary school system, Scarborough RC.
Yes.
So to the sport and education unit out of the division of education.
Oh, that's your department. Okay, well,
I mean, and that's the beauty of sport and education. You prepare them for the bigger things, and I expect that those guys will go on to play.
Well, the guys say we have to wrap up. Marcus, this is robbery time.
I'm not fighting it at all. But guys, thank you so much for being with us here on Friday. Again, on Tobago Update Sports. I want to thank Mr. Manswell, Kirsten Manswell, for joining us. And I mean, continue doing what you're doing in terms of the boxing program. But we're gonna jump them over to Candice. Good morning to Tobago. All right, so guys, thank you once again. Don't forget to share the live when we come back on Friday. Good morning, Tobago.
Picture this.
He had such a magnificent presence, and his influence over many years has really shaped the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago.
Those words describe Tobago's, and specifically Lake Coteaux's Victor E. Bruce, who was the first local governor of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago in 1969. Now, listen to this. In 2023, an office was re-established in Tobago where you can visit to lodge complaints in respect of financial services provided by banks and licensed financial institutions. And guess what? The office is housed in the iconic building named after Victor E. Bruce in Market Square, Scarborough. Meaningful, right? That organization is the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman.
Today is also important because we are opening this office at a time when it is well known that we have some challenges getting between the both islands. And it is actually one of the mandates of the island's government to ensure that we bring a lot more of these services to the Tobago space, which in turn will prevent the need for Tobagonians to journey to Port of Spain to get these services. And so we are happy that the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman is actually leading the way. We are indeed proud that the central bank can come home to Victor E. Bruce in this regard. And I couldn't help, as the governor spoke, about wondering whether Victor E. Bruce himself considered or thought that maybe there will be a day that some of the services of the institution that he was leading for a young nation, a brand new nation, would one day make its way across the shores to his homeland in a building named after him.
We are proud that on this momentous occasion, we are coming back to the roots in a building named after this eminent son of the soil. So I really think this is real, it is symbolic, but it is also grounded in reality.
The Financial Services Ombudsman plays a crucial role in promoting trust and confidence in the financial sector. Our mission is to provide an impartial platform for resolving disputes between consumers and financial service providers.
Services from the Ombudsman will be provided from September 27th and be made available every second and fourth Wednesday in the month from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. free of charge to members of the public.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region. With the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine, I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Tobago recorded its third murder for the year last evening. Dead is Nigel Julian, aka Tallman of Corey Street, the Laventil, who had been living in Lambo for some time, following a shooting incident in Opal Drive in Signal Hill. Details remain sketchy, but police are continuing investigations. Approximately $3.2 million remains outstanding to service providers for various events organized by the Tobago Festivals Commission, according to the Secretary of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Tasha Burris. The revelation came in response to a query from the Minority Councillor, Petal Daniel Benoit, during yesterday's plenary sitting. Secretary Burris clarified that the Accounts Department is prioritizing the settlement of past bills before addressing those from 2023 based on the release of funds to the division. Among the service providers owed are the Tobago Heritage 2023 performance, who continue to voice their dissatisfaction with the delays. And finally, the Police Service Commission, the PSC, is set to address a complaint from 93 police constables regarding the police commissioner, Earl Harewood Christopher's, handling of the recent promotion exercise. Attorneys for the constables expressed disappointment in the commissioner's conduct and the Promotion Advisory Board, citing inconsistencies in the 2023 corporal promotion exercise. The attorney said that it impacted the officers' morale and urged the PSC to take urgent action to restore trust and accountability. The constables, having lost confidence in the process, are seeking the PSC's intervention for a fair and transparent resolution to the ongoing fiasco. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And viewers, jumping into our conversation
conversation this morning. Now, we're going to get things started off on what's been going on with the economy. And of course, who better to give us an idea from a private sector perspective than the chairman of the Tobago division of the Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Industry and Commerce, and that is Mr. Curtis Williams. Good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Williams. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Candice. Good morning to your viewers and listeners on Tobago Updates, and it's a pleasure being here.
Now, I mean, as we heard from the news, we have some delays in terms of quite a lot of our service providers, you know, getting their pay late. They would have done their jobs in 2023, but they're unable to access their payments and so on. You know, has the chamber received any of those complaints, and what have you guys been doing in the interim for that?
Okay, fine. We have a couple members who are part of the providers that haven't received their monies for the carnival, for all the events gone. But it's not much of our members, all right? And according to the information coming out from the secretary, payments will be forthcoming. They're awaiting releases from the Division of Finance. So we expect by this national carnival that the service providers will be paid. So we will keep our eyes on those projections and those commitments going forward.
And then speaking about Carnival now, things were up and down for the National Carnival, but we got the releases for the dates and so on for things came out yesterday, as a matter of fact. And so some of the things that were not going to be put on were put back on and so on, like some of the senior mass and whatnot. You know, what's your take on what's been happening or the planning for Carnival, National Carnival in particular, 2024?
Well, as we noticed, we're slowly moving away from the National Carnival in Tobago in terms of all that big event to the Tobago brand or the Tobago Carnival, which is in October. And this year it's going to be October the 25th, I think.
Yes.
And from our last meeting up to yesterday, we had a cocktail reception for stakeholders and suppliers of the carnival, hosted by the Tourism Division. And some of the excitement for the Tobago Carnival, you know, there's some real excitement going to happen. In the National Carnival itself, that's the one next month. We don't expect much because we know the scaling down of such, because we have our own product, our own branding that we need to do come October. And we're looking forward to that. The entire business community is focusing on that Tobago Carnival. We heard about now we have 50% booked villas already. So this thing going to be big, and we are asking all our members and even other business folks out there to support the Tobago Carnival, because it's definitely going to be a big thing. Some of the band leaders even mentioned to us, if they did bring in probably 7,000 masqueraders this year, they're looking to double it. So we know there's going to be no room on the island. It's going to be a bumper event. I've seen how the Tobago Carnival could really evolve into something big and exciting. We know there are flaws. We know there are a couple of things that we didn't do properly last year, and we're hoping to correct them. So we spoke to all the relevant persons, and we're hoping that they do correct those flaws that they had last year.
Now, are you at all disappointed with the way things are going for the National Carnival? Or is it that, you know, you as a business community, you decided, you know what, it's okay, we'll just focus on all our energies on October?
Well, definitely. Most of our members decided to focus their energy on the October events and instead of the February events. And we know that there will be Kiddies Carnival, there will be something with the THA into department, and Mud Mass and some other small event, I think in Juvies and Roxborough, something of that nature, something of that. So we put in our energy into the October Carnival, which is Tobago Carnival. Let's brand out that carnival. Let's make that something on the calendar of events for the island, and let's develop that industry. There are a lot of work to be done in developing that industry, and we're hoping that the stakeholders and all the persons involved could really meet and discuss how we're going to build that Tobago brand, that Tobago Carnival brand.
Now, earlier this week, I spoke to several Carnival mass band leaders who themselves, they are focusing their energies on October, but one of them in particular, who is putting out a Kiddies band for February, said that maybe we should consider branding the Tobago leg or the Tobago part of the National Carnival as a place to be for Kiddies Carnival. I mean, what does the business community think about something like that?
Well, that's great. We know the kids can really enjoy themselves. It's a separate time because the October Carnival will not give that space for the kids. We leave that more for the adults. And this National Carnival for the kiddies, that would be great. The schools to bring out their bands, the various schools across the island to bring out the bands, and we get corporate sponsors to assist them in these. Let's start moving away from the THA and let's look more at the corporate sponsors and the business community to assist in that process of building out that. And the same thing for the Tobago Carnival. Slowly, the THA should start to cut back on spending and let the business community take up. So that it be a little more privatized and let us get some money return on our investment instead of waiting for a handout from the THA. The thing's supposed to be more run by business persons instead of the THA.
All right, now I want to talk a little bit even about the state of the economy right now, because we ended 2024 in a little bit of a low note because I know the business community complained that the sales for Christmas were not as great as expected. You know, you had an uptick during the October Carnival, but it dropped after that. You know, what are things looking like now? I mean, we know it's January, that's the hardest month of the year, but you know, what is it looking like?
So what looks exciting on the horizon for us is the cruise ship, the cruise ship visitors. Candice, it was blowing. We see all those tour operators, the reef tours, the Mountain Bay hotels. And if you look at the beach yesterday, my God, we're looking at Crown Point with some of the guests being entertained by some of the restaurants there and stuff. So the tourism aspect of it, we've seen an uptake in the tourism aspect of it. We've seen something moving there, but we want a trickle-down effect. We just don't want that sector alone. We want the other sector to benefit from it. But now as the cruise ship is in place, we've seen some upticks with the cruise ship, and we need to take care of that. And if we take good care of that whole tourism in terms of the cruise ship, we could develop that into a big take for Tobago. Really, really good.
But what about the overall economy? You know, how is it doing?
Well, overall, there were a couple agenda items because we did meet with the Chief Sec and his team and identify a couple major products they're hoping to embark on this year. Some of them like the Scarborough project and some other projects that they were looking at. And so we see something good coming out of it. Even our trip now to Ghana, the Chamber and the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturers Association, along with other business and stakeholders, we're planning this trip to Ghana hoping to seek investment. And I think the THA will be part of it too. So Candice, that's excitement for us. So we're looking to see what we can do with direct investment coming in from Africa. And that's the game changer there. A direct flight from Africa to Tobago, Candice, that's a big game changer. So we're looking forward to those excitement coming up in March. And I wish.
So wait. I just want to stick a pin because you said a direct flight from Ghana to Tobago. Because I don't think we've heard too much of that yet. I'm not sure if this was one of those things that the THA was trying to keep on the rings.
These are the topic that we're looking forward to. You know, speaking with in Africa with the airlines, one of the larger airline company there, and the possibility of flights from Africa direct to Tobago. I mean, Candice, we're going all out to see what we can do as a business community for the island, and that will definitely be a big uptake, and as we look forward to it. That trip to Ghana is going to be hosted by the Trinidad and Tobago Manufacturing Association. The government have a part to play with it. The Chamber, of course, Trinidad and Tobago Chamber of Commerce, we have a big part to play with it, and we definitely going to take a team up to Ghana in March. So we're hoping that other players come on board, private sector, other business folks come on board and assist in the entire conversation of bringing business to Trinidad and Tobago.
And certainly, now after that meeting with the Chief Secretary, and of course he promised to meet with you guys and he followed through on that promise. Are you satisfied, or are you feeling better about that relationship with the THA to make business better, to help the economy in Tobago grow?
Right, Candice, coming out of that meeting, we can see a clear path on how we definitely going to develop and how things are going to move. And that's a good part about it. I mean, our meeting notes and everything will tell us all the different strategies and plans of the THA, and we definitely going to hold the executive to those commitments. And if they say January, we hope in January that comes, and we would call the chief secretary and his executive. Why in January this didn't happen? What was the reason why it didn't happen? Or why you didn't tell us before that you were having challenges? So we definitely going to hold the assembly accountable for all the promises they made to us throughout that session, because we, the business community, we are eager and waiting for 2024 to start to make some money. Candice, we haven't been making any money. We just break even or loss. So 2024 is the year when we're hoping to see our balance sheets move to a positive, and we're looking forward to that.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, because once the business community does well, it means something is good is happening here in Tobago, and it will benefit everybody. Did he follow through also in setting, you know, meetings, regular meetings with you guys, so to make sure that you can keep that accountability and keep them in check and make sure that you're following through on the plans that were made?
That's correct. We did set quarterly meetings, and we also asked for breakout meetings with the various secretaries so we can hear some of their plans for the various divisions and we can follow through with it. So our first meeting will be with the Secretary for Education and Agriculture, and we're hoping that meeting will be very cordial and we can learn about the plans for education. And we have some little pointers that we want to share with the Secretary as well with Education, and also the Secretary for Agriculture. We want to hear about her plans for a division going forward, because it's important that we look at agriculture. Agriculture plays a very important part in us in Tobago, and we as a business community, we have the agro-processors, and we really want to know a couple of things, and we're hoping that meeting come off as soon as possible so that we could really engage that conversation as we want to.
And now one of the things that he ended 2023 on was opening that or launching the help desk for businesses to get that, I mean, get the assistance they need to grow their business and to develop, you know, just whether it's their accounts and their registrations, and or even just to take their business to the next level. How has that been going?
Well, great, and I'm glad you asked about it, because, you know, putting all these things together, we as a chamber is an NGO, so we're a non-profit organization, and we're hoping to seek funding. Our landlord just raised our rent, so Candice, we had to look for money. So we all over right now. We have a fundraising we're hoping to have in February, just the Sunday before Carnival, so that we could raise some funds. Candice, we're all about assisting the Tobago business, and the only way we can do this thing is if we get some funding. So we're hoping at that fundraising we're able to raise funds to assist in that help desk, because that help desk need to be staffed, and they need to have players. We need to have folks there assisting the business folks all across the island. So because all of this, Candice, is as nearly free to the members, right? So hence the reason why we need funding, and we're asking for much contribution and the support from the Tobago and Trinidad and Tobago to assist us with that help desk in terms of funding going forward. But the help desk is there, and we're embarked, it's open, and we're now moving to the next stage where we need some adequate funding to move forward.
Certainly. And then what about in terms of getting your businesses ready for the procurement legislation? Now, I mean, we've seen some of the challenges even that a few of the secretaries has expressed to us is that they've been having challenges with the service providers in terms of what is required and so on. And we had the chief secretary last Friday telling even the band leaders, you know, you have to have a separate bank account to receive your grants and all those things. You know, how is that coming along within your sector in terms of getting everything, because we know it's a onerous process.
So what we did, we extended the invitation to the promoters and the band leaders, the various associations, to at least if one of them could become a member of the chamber, so that we could assist them in that whole process. I mean, Candice, we live in this space. We're doing this every day. We're doing company formation every day. We're opening bank accounts for companies. Candice, we're doing taxes for companies. We're doing that every single day. So we are the best person. It's not a copybook we're going to read from or some literature. We are actually doing the work, so we understand the process. So we are asking the band leaders and all the other folks in the space, the promoters, we are inviting them to the chamber so that we could assist them in that process. So you don't have that issue where you're sending an invoice to the THA or sending an invoice and you put, please pay the check into Candice's name. Candice is not the business name. Candice is not the company name. And that's wrong. You're not supposed to be doing that. So hence the reason why we want to assist the band leaders and them in getting the business registered, getting them opening bank accounts. Because part of our team are bankers. We have about 3 bankers within our team. So they can assist you in getting that account open in one day. It's as easy as that. So hence the reason why we're asking for the support we can get at the help desk. and all our fundraising events is the first one for the year. We're hoping that we have a good uptake in the tickets for that event, and it just it's priced reasonable, $300, and I'm sure and the members will gravitate and do
And
come
what is
out.
the event?
The event will be the Carnival Sunday, and it will be held at the rooftop of Smithfield Plaza, overlooking Scarborough. It's going to be a real nice entertainment and good evening event for mature folks to come and enjoy the carnival time with us.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Williams. And viewers, that's how we end this segment, but we got a whole lot more coming up for you on GMT, so don't you go anywhere.
The energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake.
Flo is bringing Carnival and cash home with a total of $300,000 in cash back when you pay on time, sign up, or upgrade to an everything plan. Plus, we're live streaming fets, so you could wind down in your bed, hosting Blue Friday lines at your favorite hangouts. So every Friday you could play a mass and win free fet tickets plus Carnival costumes. Flo bringing Carnival home so you could like yourself. Visit in-store or discoverflo.co for more details. Flo, inspired by you.
Hey, it's you. Come in. Long time I see you. This station pumping. Ready for children party. Mommy! Jay, you can't go nowhere with these children. And you know you can't depend on Kevin neither Steven to see about them. Yes, total waste. So I supposed to stay home whole time? Jada is 12. She could see about them. You just leave Jada to see about Kia and Kayla. I thought it was your mother or your sister. Who? Them always busy. Jada could handle that. She cooking and cleaning a long time. And the next two, better know what time it is. It's only me, you know. I will talk to my mother. She just home these days. She will make sure the children okay. Alright. Let me see the moves for later.
Before you ramage, make sure the children okay. Call 996 to report all child abuse now. A message from the Children's Authority of Trinidad and Tobago.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. And now we are moving into what's going on with our junior Calypsonians. Now we had some competition that took place earlier this week, and I am being joined by the PRO of the Tuco Tobago region, Mr. Opoku Wari, of course, who is no stranger to Calypso and the arts. So good morning and welcome to you, Mr. Wari. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. What can I say? Just going swimming with the tide.
Great. So now we had the National Junior Calypso Monarch semi-finals taking place earlier this week. How did it go from your standpoint?
Well, from the information I have, I think 4 students from Tobago qualified for the national finals, and they are heading to Trinidad right now. They are heading to Trinidad to compete in the national finals, we expect good things from them because I think we had. People like Miss Brolin Bob Lewis, she was one of the writers of some of the songs, most of the songs. So we expect a good account for themselves because Brolin has been doing a tremendous job over the years. She was one of the persons who produced, who fashioned Patrice Robertson to becoming a successful artist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it's at with the juniors. Now we don't have a Tobago competition now for them, so. That's where it's at for them. But in relation to the Tuco activity now, we have started our activity since our Calypso 10, Magnificent Glow, since the 29th of December. And we've been rampaging through Tobago, spreading the gospel of Calypso music. It's difficult because of the funding and so on, but we're going on and we want to culminate our activity. And no. I think I missed one thing with the juniors. Mm-hmm. We would be having the Tuco Junior competition in Tobago.
And when is that happening?
That is happening on Carnival Friday. The venue is still to be announced by today. We'll finalize the venue. But we have 8 finalists from Tobago because I get confused because they have this competition in October too.
Yes.
But the Tuco competition, Tobago competition would be on Friday and will take place at a venue to be announced. We have 8 finalists who came out of a field of 14. So that that will be something to think. In fact, we're trying to get Roxborough, but who knows, you know, Roxborough Complex. So by today, we should know where this big grand explosion of youth calypso, because what you'll be seeing there is the future of Tobago calypso. So everybody, parents, young, old, everybody should come out and have a time.
But from what you've seen so far, what do you think?
Well, I think anywhere you have our people living, you will have talent. What we have to do is to search for the talent, you know. What we doesn't do sometimes is not search for the talent. So what we got to do is there must be talent in every community. And it's incumbent for us, as TUCO and the other authorities, to have an input or to make a concerted effort to get into these communities, to find the talents and to put them on stage, you know. Because people, for example, remember Tobago produced people like Shadow Rose, you know, these are people who revolutionized calypso music. And so that if those genetics, you know, once the genetics there, you would always produce class acts, you know. And we're seeing it coming through from time to time, you know. The show in Winchester's and the others, you know.
Now, you know, looking at Carnival in Tobago 2024, National Carnival 2024, just happening in a couple weeks' time. You know, there's so much talk, there's so much confusion, there's a lot of late planning as well. What do you think about how just this whole thing has been unfolding and the changes that are being made?
Well, you know, Carnival is a dynamic thing and you will have changes coming from time to time. The important thing about Carnival is the people, because Carnival is really a reflection of the creative spirit of the people, whether in mass making, calypso, steel pan, and so on. And once those, as if guys talking about DNA, once those things exist within us, Carnival does usually explode, you know. And but for me, with exploding this year, you know, it's left to be seen, but I believe we'll have some explosion of the Carnival spirit here. And Tobago does usually pick up during the last week, you know, that is the historical thing. So that is why we in TUCO would be having our grand finale on Sunday the 10th. It will be the most spectacular spectacle of calypso and carnival that's ever seen in Tobago East. We're going at Dallaford Bay Road by the John's Place, Ocean View. And we'll be crowning the Magnificent Glow Calypso King, Magnificent Glow Calypso Queen, the Magnificent Glow Soca Monarch. So we'll be having an internal competition within the tent. And we'll be looking for some invites. I think we want to bring in 1 or 2 people from the Bacchanal tent and so on. And so we'll have, this is going to be something to remember. Remember the day, the 10th, Friday the 10th. That is Saturday the 10th, sorry.
Now, what I've noticed so far for this carnival is that, you know, in terms of calypso, we see a lot of tents happening, at least a little bit more visible than has been in the last few years. You know, what do you think is happening within what's happening within the calypso community at this point in time that we seem to be seeing this resurgence?
Well, what is happening is that there's always be an urge by calypsonians to put the art on stage, you know. Every calypsonian long to write a song, compose a song. The greatest feeling he could have is to go on a stage and sing that song, you know. So, and the thing that throughout the nation, there seems to be a resurgence in authentic calypso. You know, we had the German wine, you know, half-naked women winding up on the stage and stuff, you know. But real calypso, which tells the stories of life in song, I think we will have a resurgence of that. And that does be determined by the situation in the country and the trends in the world. You know, we have a world today that anything can happen anytime. We have a society today, sometimes we don't know if it's going left, if it's going right, or if it's standing still. So, and these are the issues that come to bear on calypso composition, because calypso is not like them R&B artists in America. They just sing about love, baby, I love you. But the calypsonians sing on every topic. They even sing about when the King of England owned his wife with an American prostitute and leave it wrong for that, you know. See, everything they sing about. They sing about war, they sing about peace, you know. So I think that resurgence will happen from time to time, you know. Life is about stages and phases. You have surges and then you have a lull and then it surge again, you know. Mm-hmm. That's how beautiful life is. That's how dynamic it is.
And then from what you put the calypsos that have come forth in the various stems?
Well, it has some good songs, you know. It has some good songs, some big songs, you know. I know, you know what, and we have some good songs, you know. And we have
any particular that stand out to you?
Well, I think the Thomas sisters, when they are Nicole, then they have Rosalind Reed, who have a big song on calypso. Then we have a guy, two guys from the East who have emerged as showstoppers. They are showstoppers in the tent. A guy called Pocky, Eric Benjamin, and another one called Guma. Now these fellas, they have their own particular style. There's an originality about them that captivates the audience. One of them is singing about bandit life, and he actually plays the role of a bandit in the song, you know. Mm-hmm. And then you have some good songs from the women, you know. You have this lady, Gigi Washington. Also you have Garth Washington, who have a big song on the women. Then you have a guy, we even have a song on Jesus Christ in the tent by Gary Frederick, you know. He opens the tent with Jesus Christ. Think about Jesus Christ. So we have a variety of songs. We have humor, a guy called Rondell, he's singing. Then we have the mighty Punchin, you know. He's punching with a big song about the diet, you know, what you eat, watch what you eat, and so on. Mm-hmm. So I would say that there are songs, you know, good songs. What we need is stages, you know, but in order to have a calypso show, sometimes one show costs $100,000, you know, so it's difficult, it's very, very difficult. So we're battling and swimming against the tide and hoping to finish this season in a flourish and that we could illuminate this whole place with calypso music. But that date, on Saturday the 10th at Dallaford, that is the date, because that is going to showcase the sweetness and the depth of calypso that we have in different forms, you know. Mm-hmm. Because I say we have in calypso monarch, calypso queen, soca monarch, and we might even have some example.
Certainly. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Worry, for being on with us and to having this conversation about calypso. And we're certainly looking forward to seeing, you know, how the industry grows, and hopefully we could keep riding this wave of calypso going forward. Yeah,
the industry would not stay stagnant, you know. There would always be, sometime when, for example, for 10 years, from 1963 to 1973, only two men won the road march, Sparrow and Kitchener. 1 year Sparrow, 1 year Kitchener. 63 to 73. And then after that, he emerged out of nowhere and threatening them in song. And then he sang, Pumpy Dim Pom, 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 Shadow. And he broke that span between Kitchener and Sparrow and opened up the doors for other colors, people like Stalin emerged, Relita, Valentino, you know, and that was a surge. Then Super Blue came, then Roger came, then Marshall and they came, and so on. So it will have surges. And I hear one or two songs this year that making some sense, you know. I like the boy Olatunji, he have a nice song, you know. Nice. I hear some of the social commentaries in Trinidad yet, so. But Trinidad and Tobago is the land of the calypso, and you'll always find emerging talent. That is the beauty about here. But what we got to do is give them the stages, give them the opportunity to put their stage on talent. And that's why we have to support these juniors who are going to Trinidad, because they're going to represent Tobago, and we hope that in their representation of Tobago, we will be able to see the light, more light at that tunnel that is now lighting up. And we want to praise Verlin Lewis for the work she's doing in terms of helping the young ones to get songs and training them in the art.
All right. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Worry. And viewers, that's it for this segment, but we got some more coming up for you, so don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.
Passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory. At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago, Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice car get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. Never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
A brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the sky.
back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, now we are being joined by some champions this morning. So a special good morning to the team from Bishop's High School. And if you don't know what's been happening with Bishop's High School, they just took part in a debate competition where, of course, they emerged victorious because it's Bishop's High School. So a special good morning and welcome to you all. Actually going to start with the teacher, Miss Kiana John Blackman. So good morning and welcome to you. Good morning, thank you. And I mean, if the students would like to introduce themselves, you guys can go right ahead. We're going to start with this young man right here.
I am Malik Charles. I'm Tishon Joseph.
I am Sohaila McCool.
And I'm Clavia Simpson. All right, so this is our team of champions. Now, first of all, Ms. Blackman, can you give us an idea of what this debate was all about? Let's tell us about the competition.
All right, so the competition was put on by the Land Settlement Agency. It was a competition dealing with the issue of squatting. So it lasted a duration of 3 weeks, and every week we would have gotten a different topic based on squatting. 1 week we were opposition against the idea, then we were for the idea, and again for our final competition we were against, we were the opposition again.
And what was it like preparing the students for this?
It was a lot of work. It was a lot of late nights. It was a lot of sacrifice. I mean, 2 days before we had our finals, we had our sports, and at Bishop Sports is a very big thing.
Yes.
Big thing. So we had to sacrifice our Davies. We had to sacrifice our celebrations and go back to school, finish our practices at after 7 in the night. It was a lot of work. It was getting up early in the morning to catch first flights to go to Trinidad, hustling against traffic to get to the destination, but it did pay off. We had a lot of fun. I mean, we formed a really close sub-bond than we already had, and speaking for myself, I enjoyed it. I would love to believe that my students enjoyed it also.
Yes. And we're going to hear from them. I'm going to start with Clavia because I think viewers, if you don't know, Clavia has actually hosted with us at Tobago Updates a few times and so on. And so tell me about your experience in Trinidad, preparing for the debates and even meeting your competitors in Trinidad.
Well, the truth is, it really was enjoyable. I must say, yes, I love this team so much. The bond, this was so correct. The bond that we created is something that I will never forget. The LSA treated us so well. And when we got there was a sort of companionship with the other schools that you don't really get in Tobago. Usually there's this fierce competitiveness among Tobago schools, but when you got to Trinidad, there was this healthy competition to be among. So that was really nice. But it was an amazing experience, really amazing.
All right, and Mr. Tayshawn, can you give us an idea of, what did you learn, even going through the competitions, preparing, learning about the squatters and all the different types of land settlements and that sort of thing?
Okay, so there was a lot of research and a lot of information to retain and put into our speeches, because all of our speeches, we had 3 speakers. Everybody had a different time frame to make their speech, and so it's kind of difficult to know like what information to put here, who should say this, so but mainly I was the summary speaker, so I could make any speeches until like Clavia or Sohaila like finished theirs. So I was like the last person to get my stuff done. And just to see, there were a lot of persons who are Scottish in Trinidad. There really is a lot of them. So being able to be on opposition 1 week to argue for the squatters and then the other week to argue like against the idea of squatting, it was kind of a difficult challenge, because like you had to make sure your mind is in like the right space. You have to know, well, okay, you're arguing for them this time and the other time you're like against. So like there's a kind of battle between like, is this really right? Should I be advocating for these squatters or shouldn't I? So like, there's really a battle between just knowing which side to be on sometimes.
And Ms. Sohaila McCool, give us an idea of how some of the things that you guys found when you were doing your research and whatnot and preparing for the different sides of the debates and whatnot that you can use, that you think that could be applied to Tobago, or you think that we and Tobago need to consider for the way we develop our land and so on.
Okay, so
so high and cool. And it was, most of the things I feel like Tobago was doing a pretty good job on. Like in our final debate, like we literally brought our Tobago-ness into the debate and made suggestions on what they could do and implement what we have already. And really and truly Tobago's doing a pretty good job in managing our land settlement areas and whatnot, because we don't have as much squatters in Tobago as we do in Trinidad. So I just give props to Tobago for that. You're doing a really good job.
Certainly. And Mr. Malik Charles?
Yeah.
Right. Now, tell me about just even that experience of going down to Trinidad and meeting with your competitors and so on. And we heard that you guys formed a good bond. But I want to hear from you, though. What was some of the experience that you came back with?
When we went down to Trinidad and the whole process, it was a lot of work. I can't lie. Like Miss said, it was a lot of late nights. Even after sports, we had to sacrifice and we had to come and still discuss what we're gonna do, how we're gonna say, who gonna say what they have to say. And on the trips, I love planes, okay? So everybody was just there, seeing me getting jittery just from being on our plane flight. And even when we were in the airport, we were, catching jokes with each other. We were building our bonds because I knew these people from Society First One, but like now is the only time, like these past 3 weeks, it's the only times where I actually got to, interact with them and grow something with them. The schools in Trinidad, they showed a lot of love. This one school, Naparima, they were our best supporters out there. And it even had some Tobagonians over there that was always rooting for us. And it was a great experience. I would never forget this. And this is a really good team.
Now, that moment when you found out that your debate team won, what was that like?
Well, it was. So we got the scores. So the host was giving the scores first.
Yes.
And the first time we did the debate and we qualified for the semis, we got the lowest score. So we came home with bad mindsets. So we're not doing that. The next time, we got the highest score. Like, that was a big jump. So in the finals, there was an extra judge, but we did not know. So he called the results for St. Mary's, and it was like 290 something. So 91. Everybody hearts fell. He was like, okay, well, we lost because that's the highest we ever hit. And then he just said Bishop's High School 3, and we erupted. We didn't even hear 3. What? It was just Bishop's High School 3, and we went mad. It was really a good experience. Like, all the fear was released because we really thought in that moment, okay, well, this was it. Try my best, but okay. To hear that we won, it was surreal.
And what would you like to even to say? What was it like when you came back though to school? Let me ask that first, because I know Bishop's is a school that likes to celebrate. So what was that celebration like? What was that assembly, that morning assembly like when you came back?
This morning. We didn't go to school. That would have been this morning. Jet lag.
So we Tobago Updates stole your shine a little bit. That's okay. We get to share it with Tobago.
Yes, we get to share it with Tobago.
Yeah. All right, and then what would you like to say to other students who might be wanting to participate, and any one of you guys can answer, in such debates like this and competitions like this, and coming up against the Trinidadian schools?
I think that there's this thing in the back of many Tobagonians' minds that probably make you feel like you're inferior to Trinidad. But the truth is, and Miss told us this, that there is no such thing as overconfidence. We went there, we saw what they did, and we knew that we could do much better. So it's just to believe in yourself always, and always take the opportunity. At first, when we heard that this debate was happening, some of us was like, probably this is not our thing. Probably I need to focus on school a little bit more. I don't think this is for me. But after a lot of convincing, not only from Miss, but also from the Debate Society president, which is Adriel Wheeler, we came together and we all decided yes to do it. So sometimes in life, just to take the opportunities that are given to you, because you never know where you're going to end up. Might end up with a golden medal around you. So always take the opportunities that are handed to you, and you are greater than many, better than many, and have that confidence within you always.
feel like you're not ready, just do it.
Correct.
Just do it. Win, lose, or draw, you will appreciate the experience and you'll grow a lot. And I just want to say that to the Debate Society.
I have one thing to say too. It was after we won and everything, I think he was the CEO, he came, and one thing he said really stuck with me. He said, the greatest victory is not because we get a goal, we get the prize, but the beauty is in the process. And I really love that, what he said. So that is what I have to share.
And did this experience also shape or help you focus a little bit on where you want to take the next step in your life?
Coming back from the debate is what I remember. Telling the other schools goodbye. They turned and they were like, goodbye, future Prime Minister. And that really shocked me, because you do these things and you realize that life has a strange way of pointing you in the direction that life has meant for you. So I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years I see Sohaila in Parliament, or I see Malik and Tayshaun doing big things, but it has been a journey, and I'm glad that we got it to point us where we need to go in life.
Ms. Blackman, I'm going to give you the last word. You know, I mean, what would you like to tell Tobago about your students here this morning?
About my students?
Yes.
Okay, for me, I believe that I have the best students. I love their drive. They really work hard. They are moldable. They respond. You would give them direction. They would follow. They are leaders, because when we were doing our speeches, they were responsible for coming up with their ideas. So they came up with their ideas. We worked together to do the research, to use my English skills and put it in a nice, structured way. But the ideas were theirs. Those speeches were theirs. They are leaders. And I honestly believe not too far down the road, we are going to see them in big spaces doing really big things. All of them.
And I hope we do get to actually see some of the speeches and stuff like that you gave at the competition. Hopefully you could get a recording and we can have it here on Tobago Updates. So thank you all for being with us. And of course, congratulations again. We are all very proud of you here at Tobago Updates. And of course, all of Tobago is very proud of you for what you guys were able to achieve down in Trinidad.
Thank you.
All right, viewers, and that's how we're going to have to wrap our show this morning. Thank you again for joining us. It was a wonderful time here with you all, but we have brunch coming up at 10 o'clock, so you're going to want to look out for that. And we would see you again on Monday. So have a good and safe and wonderful weekend.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies.